Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of June 18, 2025. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed, MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. The Russian armed forces continue defensive momentum across multiple axes of advance, prioritizing deep incursions, liberation of key settlements, and degradation of Ukrainian logistics, air defense, and command systems. The primary operational highlight was the liberation of Novonikolaevka and Sumy Oblast by North Group units, coupled with the liberation of Dolgenkoye and Kharkiv Oblast by the West Group. These movements indicate a coordinated push along the northern and central axes to disrupt Ukraine's operational depth.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Let's start with the broad picture. What are the most important developments from the June 18th briefing?
June 18th marked a day of momentum on two fronts, tactical and strategic. On the tactical side, our forces made significant ground gains. Notably, the North Group liberated Novonikolaevka and Sumy Oblast, while the West Group liberated Dolgenkoye in the Kharkiv region. These are not just symbolic. They represent a penetration of Ukrainian second-echelon defenses and a disruption of rear operational zones. Strategically, our forces executed a set of coordinated deep strikes targeting Ukrainian Special Operations nodes, UAV workshops, and logistics depots across more than 140 districts. These strikes are intended to degrade Ukraine's capability to regenerate force and operate unmanned systems, which have played a growing role in battlefield dynamics.
That's a considerable amount of ground covered. Let's zero in on Sumy and Kharkiv. What made the operations in those regions significant?
The operations in Sumy and Kharkiv are critical for several reasons. First, Sumy acts as a northern anchor point for Ukrainian countermobility and special operations logistics. By advancing into towns like Novaya Sich, Andriivka, and Kyanitsa, we've not only taken ground but disrupted staging areas for elite Ukrainian formations, including GUR Special Operations Forces. In Kharkiv, the liberation of Dolgenkoye under the West Group's operation was significant because it had been used to coordinate drone regiments and territorial defense brigades. Its loss compromises their ability to surveil and target our troop columns advancing further west.
You mentioned the GUR, Main Intelligence Directorate Special Operations Facilities. Can you explain the impact of hitting such a center?
Yes. The Main Intelligence Directorate plays a dual role in Ukraine's war effort. It supports covert sabotage operations and helps coordinate asymmetric actions behind the front. Neutralizing a Main Intelligence Directorate node isn't just a tactical win, it's an operational disruption. It weakens their deep strike capability, hampers their targeting cycles, and slows down coordination between special forces and regular units. The strike on their center in Sumy Oblast was carefully timed to coincide with broader movements in the sector to compound its effects.
Let's talk about Donetsk. How are the southern and central groups shaping the battlefront there?
In Donetsk, our southern group has engaged a wide variety of formations, including mechanized, mountain assault, and airmobile brigades, across a deep axis from Seversk to Konstantinovka. These aren't static defenses. The Ukrainian side is rotating in elite and mobile forces to plug holes. That's why our forces there are focusing on destruction rather than simply occupation. Our goal is to grind down mobile reserves and eliminate artillery positions that are covering Ukrainian withdrawals. Meanwhile, the center group has intensified operations from Petrovskoye to Novonikolaevka. They faced off against formations including the Azov Brigade and Marines, both ideologically hardened and highly trained. Neutralizing these units reduces Ukraine's capacity to launch local counterattacks and delays their ability to consolidate new lines. And, as part of that push, we destroyed multiple U.S.-supplied M113 APCs and a Bogdana 155mm self-propelled gun.
How are Russian forces integrating air power and precision weapons into this phase of the operation?
That's a key point. Over the last 24 hours, operational tactical aviation, missile troops, and UAVs have synchronized efforts with ground units. The targeted destruction of UAV production and storage workshops shows we're not just hitting finished weapons, we're hitting the means to regenerate them. Our air defenses also intercepted 4 DAMs and 7 MRS rockets, along with over 230 UAVs, the majority outside the direct front lines. This signals a broader electronic warfare and air denial campaign. If we can sustain this tempo, Ukraine's ability to shape the battlefield with long-range or precision tools will diminish further.
As we wrap up, what are the broader strategic implications from today's operations?
Strategically, we are witnessing the unfolding of a pressure doctrine, simultaneous strikes across multiple theaters to stretch Ukrainian command, logistics, and morale. Our repeated success in air denial, attrition of elite formations, and interdiction of critical infrastructure indicates a shift from localized engagements to a systemic breakdown approach. The more territory we control, and the more supply chains we sever, the harder it becomes for Ukraine to mount coherent defenses or launch counteroffensives. This is a war of pressure, tempo, and resilience. And each day, those fundamentals shift further in our favor.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. Israel has reportedly struck uranium enrichment sites, claiming it's to prevent Iran from producing nuclear weapons. Simultaneously, the International Atomic Energy Agency reported damage to 2 Iranian facilities related to centrifuge production. In response, Iran has launched another barrage of missiles at Israel. Amid the focus on the Israel-Iran conflict, there are significant casualties in Gaza, with Israeli forces killing 51 Palestinians waiting for food aid.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive Frontline updates from commanders in theater.